Def Jam, man. Def Jam is dope to me. Like, I've definitely met with a couple labels before I got signed to Def Jam, and I think just me being a pretty girl dancer, everybody's like, yo, you need to make pop, and you need to be sexy, you need to be this, and I'm just like, nah. And then when I met Two at Def Jam, I was like, oh snap, he wants a cool girl, and I'm like, that's me. I'm like, this is perfect, like a perfect match. And it's like, Def Jam doesn't have another artist like me in their roster, so I thought that was really dope too, because I wouldn't have any competition, you know what I mean? And it's like, they're super excited about my project, and that's all I need, because I've heard so many stories about labels, like you could get shelved like right after you get signed, and I'm like, that's why I never even like met with labels, because I've heard so many stories about it. But as soon as I met Def Jam and Two, and I was just like, yeah, this is home. It felt right, you know? When you have that feeling in your soul, you're just like, this is where you're supposed to be. I felt that, so. It's so crazy. I feel like this past couple months, as soon as I got signed to Def Jam, I've just grown tremendously as an artist. I met the Internz, and they just, you know, definitely have been like helping me grow so much, just being more confident as an artist. Like, I used to not give opinions on certain things because I'd be like, nah, it's whack, or I wouldn't feel like cool enough to say it. But now I'm just like, dang, they're really bringing me out of my shell, and just all these opportunities, and like who I've been collabing with too, like writers and everything that Two's been putting me in the studio with. It's just like, it just keeps growing and growing. I just see, like, I'm only 22 years old, so I can only imagine when I'm gonna be like 25, 26, and I'm just excited for it, because this is just the start, you know? So no, I just started working with Felicia and Fallon, actually. They're from the Cherish group, and Two put me in the studio with them. He felt like they definitely gave me that, those girl stories. I really want to touch girls. Like, I feel like a lot of girls are gonna relate to what I go through as a young 22-year-old, and they bring that out of me for sure. So just collabing with them is just incredible. Like, I really feel like I found the perfect writers to collab with, you know? They definitely bring out the writer in me, you know? My first time working in Chicago, like, last night was incredible. We made this song, and it was just like, I'm always about a vibe. Like, if we all on the same page, and we all just like on a good vibe, good spirits, everybody's just contributing, like, that's just where that's where the magic comes from, you know? And I felt like everybody was just so inspired. As soon as Cosign started making the beat, we were all just like, yes, that's what we need. It's like, I want to call it X, but I already got a song called X, so I'm trying to figure out what I need to call that song. So we started coming up with lyrics, we started coming up with melodies, and it was just perfect. And it's just like, everybody was having so much fun. That's all I'm about. Like, if I'm not making music with fun behind it, it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? So I always love to just have a good vibe when I'm making music. So yesterday was super memorable. Okay, so there was one time I was on tour with Jeremih, and I've never drank before I went on stage before, and we definitely all took shots, a couple shots before we went on stage, and we were just all so lit on stage. It was so fun, but it was so crazy. Yo, when I got off stage, I was like, yo, I killed it. And then this dude was like, yo, you were dancing either mad fast or mad slow. And I was like, really? I felt like he was trying to play with me, but who knows? But yeah, that was funny.